NIO just executed one of the best moves ever, and they had this to say about it. If you guys watched my previous video, you guys would have known that the charging business is hugely profitable for NIO. It is one of the few businesses for NIO that is profitable, and this relates to that. Also talk about some of the voices of support here with NIO in China, and also some of the backlash. All right, so we gotta balance things out a little. So this, of course, pertains to national holiday right now, and in a lot of NIO's chargers are open to everybody. They've implemented a new rule. First of all, this pretty much says all hybrids and EREVs and all those other vehicles that doesn't use charging as their only source of replenishing power, then sorry, you can F off. But of course they said it in a polite manner. They said you can go to another service station or another resting area and go fill up your gasoline. And what's also very interesting is that they've changed the fee structure. So not only do EV owners pay electricity fee, but they also pay a time fee, because some EVs charge slower than others, and in order to get the maximum amount of profit out of the chargers, you want to be charging as much as possible, and not only charging the slow EVs, and also if they're charging and they don't leave, that also is counted in as the time service fee. So in essence, if you have a older EV that charges slower, even though electricity fee you're paying less than those other guys, but because you're using up the charger longer, you gotta pay up. And this, of course, is a huge blow to everybody. All right, it's good for NIO owners, because NIO owners, if you want to charge, first of all, NIO gets you a little bit of discount on the service fee, and it's also good for NIO because all the other competitors, they got to pay a lot more for charging, and especially for EREVs and hybrids and those guys. I mean, people really think it's the best of both worlds. You like to think that it's the best of both worlds, but it's actually not, because at the end of the day, gasoline is so much more expensive than electricity. But then electricity, if you want to use electricity, you got a smaller battery pack, you charge much slower, so you got to charge more often, you got to spend more time at the charger. And then you got this, where it's not only NIO doing this, a lot of other guys also doing this. You're not even allowed to charge. So you're using the car as if it's a gasoline vehicle. Why not just buy a gasoline vehicle? So this move right here, and what a lot of the other charging companies are doing, this is going to push us over that EREV hybrid phase. A lot of the other guys, EREV hybrids, they're selling really well because we're in that temporary phase, but this makes it very inconvenient. You buy an EREV because you think it's convenient, but this really just showcases how it's actually inconvenient to own an EREV or a hybrid car. So eventually we're going to get to that phase where everybody goes full battery electric. And of course, this has gotten a lot of voices of support. It's very reasonable for NIO to do this. I mean, from any sort of business standpoint, this is a good thing to do. And I'm sure you guys are very happy to see that happen as well. Also, and because, my channel, I'm not affiliated with NIO whatsoever. You guys think I'm paid by NIO. I'm not paid by NIO. I report the good and the bad. So the backlash within the NIO community, some NIO owners are complaining that, last year and during Chinese New Year, you made battery swaps completely free, right? You pay nothing. Basically, the highway toll fee is free, battery swap is free. You basically can go anywhere for free. And that was a really big, good marketing stunt. But of course, during that period, during Chinese New Year, and I was reporting about this, they had a record number of swaps. And I mean, the money burnt on free battery swap is just tremendous. You not only have existing older NIO owners like me with permanent free swaps swapping for free, but then you also got the newer NIOs all swapping for free, and they had a record number of swaps. It was just unbelievable. They were burning about 5 million, I think, if I recall correctly, 5 million a day, RMB a day, just in free battery swaps, just in the electricity fee, all right, not including the rent of the battery swap stations, etc. So obviously that's not feasible, all right. From a shareholder's perspective, you're like, what the hell are you doing, man? It's holiday and you're giving out free lunch. Don't do that. So they changed it to only service free is free. You still pay for the electricity. This is still not good in terms of profit wise, but I think this is a beautiful midpoint between making it completely free and also not making it free. And that makes battery swaps, so much more convenient than charging, especially on the highways. Everybody's lining up for charging stations. They don't even go there, go take a piss. They're fighting for chargers, but also more cheaper than charging. So why not? You save time, you save money, just go for a swap. But apparently some people are complaining about this in the NIO community. Some people are saying this is sort of like before they would give you a full hamburger. Now they're only giving you half of a hamburger, and people are complaining. I mean, like, come on, man. They gotta remember, when you go on the swap stations on the highway, they also have the free drinks and all that kind of stuff. That absolutely makes up for the electricity fee that you got to use. It seems like people are focusing so much more on what they're missing out on. I mean, it's still a benefit. Free service fee is still great, but I guess in a sense that a lot of NIO owners are very spoiled by NIO, including me as well. I got so used to permanent free battery swap for life. I mean, that's what they promised to us early NIO owners, that you get that for life. But NIO never promised that highway swap would be free on holidays ever. They never even promised that. So I gotta say, it is the right move, even though some existing NIO owners are unhappy. I mean, like, come on, man. It's still a great thing. NIO's Power North plan has really paid off quite well in a lot of rural, scenic spots where there's basically no chargers available. It's only NIOs that are there, but they only have a few chargers, so it makes sense to implement this rule. And especially during holiday seasons, they're really jacking up the prices for chargers. So it's a good balance. I mean, last year it was free swaps. Swapping was completely free, and they jack up charging. And charging was basically high service fee, high electricity fee, but no time fee. This year, swapping is only semi-free. You still pay for the electricity service fee, paid, but then chargers, you not only jack up the price, but also you have a time fee. So it's compared to early this year, NIO's going to earn a lot more revenue from everything. All right, swapping and charging. There's going to be more money coming in. So that's very good. Also, let's not forget that this rule change also incentivizes people to get off the charger faster, so that there's quicker rotation with the chargers and more people get to charge, and that really helps prevent these kind of fights from happening.